Now, Coventry is a city in central England. It's known for the medieval Coventry Cathedral, which was left in ruins after World War II bombing. And just like how in the medieval times, foes would come at each other with swords, the same theme remains. Today I'll be discussing the underworld of the city and the numerous gangs which operate there, as well as why they are at each other's throats. Now, postcode wars have led to outbreaks of serious violence over the past 4 years, including attempted murder, wounding and firearm discharges. Gang members have bragged about their exploits and issued threats to rivals on social media and drill music videos posted on YouTube. At the centre of the conflict are two gangs, RB7 and C2, which have been linked to dozens of violent firearms and knife-related incidents. RB7 was formed by street robbers and drug dealers who gravitate across Holbrooks, Dalmer Green and parts of Kerrisley Heath. They identify with purple. They beef RS, C2 and C3. They are allied with 6 and F Block. While C2, short for CV2, are a large street gang based around Wood End, Manor Farm and Henley Green within the CV2 postcode. They identify with the colour green and black and sometimes red. They beef RB7, 6, F Block and C4. They are allied with C3. Now both C2 and C3 orders used to be in sets such as P1 and Gridlock. Although the younger generation of the gangs were into with each other, it was nothing fatal. However, this would soon change. Now at night on the 24th of November 2018, JJ, real name Jaden James, was outside with friends in Deedmore Road to get some food when they were attacked by another group of males. RB7 gang members pulled up in a car, hopped out and chased them all. Jaden was running, then ran through a church driveway, but it was a dead end. He tried to hop over the fence, but it was too late. They stabbed him in the back with a zombie knife. 2 of his other friends were also stabbed. Jaden was taken to hospital, where he sadly died 11 days later. His death would absolutely shake the city. Many mourned, tributes paid both musically and literally. RB7 became the most hated gang in Coventry after this event. In fact, one of his killers, known as Abs, was shot in the leg days after the murder. The other killer, known as FK, well, his mother was almost shot. The city was itching for revenge. Now, some people claim young Jaden James was a gang member, although many believe this to be false and merely state he lived in C2 territory and knew people from both sides. It was an all-round unfortunate event. Police have charged 3 people with murder and they have now gone on trial at Warwick Crown Court. They are FK, real name Frank Kenfak, age 18, Abs, real name Abdirizak Hussein Abdi, 20 years old, and Bugani Ngozi, who was 18 years old. All 3 have also denied wounding with intent to cause grievous bodily harm in connection with the injuries of 2 of Jaden's friends. Standing trial, the murder, which was described in court as being a result of a rivalry between 2 warring gangs in the city. Coventry teenager Jaden James was stabbed so hard that a knife went through his body, a jury heard. And one of the defendants is accused of carrying out an internet search for the words "getting away with murder" in the aftermath of the fatal stabbing in Wood End. West Midlands police said Jaden was not thought to be a specific target. I don't believe that Jaden was targeted that night. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and his killers were simply out for revenge, said Deputy Inspector Stuart Morbely. Abdi, said to be a senior member of the RB7 gang, was ordered to serve a minimum term of 23 years, with Kenfak serving a minimum of 17. A third defendant, Bogani Ngozi, 18, of Hickenley, Leicestershire, who had faced the same charge, was acquitted of all. Now in March 2020, 2 C2 members in Riaz Ahmed and Karen Monga got in a stolen car to target RB7 member in an act of revenge. Both Riaz and Karen were wearing electronic tags. You heard that correctly. Both were on the verge of committing a crime despite knowing their exact whereabouts was known to the police. The pair targeted a man known as Abdulwahid Hassan on Harnell Lane in the Hillfields area of the city. As he made his way back from Jummah prayer, CCTV footage captured the exact moment Abdulwahid Hassan was shot twice in the back. After burning their stolen car, both the killers were arrested not too long after and charged.
Walk towards Hey, do it now! Walk slowly towards me. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. Turn around. Keep your hands up.
Now sentencing the pair for murder, Judge Simon Drew QC said the shooting had occurred during gang warfare in the city, which broke out after a 16-year-old Jaden James was killed back in 2018. Mr. James, known as JJ, was stabbed in Wood End and 2 men were jailed for his murder in November 2020. Mr. Drew told Ahmed and his accomplice that it was not clear who had the gun or who drove the car and acted as a spotter, but what is clear is that you each knew the purpose of the trip, which was to find and shoot a member of the RB7 gang. Detectives said they believed Ahmed, who has been heavily involved in vehicle crime since he was 13, was the driver and used a stolen Volkswagen Golf, while the 20-year-old gunman opened fire from the back seat. Monga and Ahmed were linked to the C2 gang in Coventry, while Mr. Hassan, who was arrested just days before his death over possession of an imitation gun, was connected to the rival group RB7. West Midlands police said both defendants were sentenced to life, with Ahmed ordered to serve a minimum 18 years and his accomplice 27. Now, despite the media's attention being on the C2 vs RB7 feud, other gangs have had their fair share of gruesome violence. Example being when Johnny Robbins, aged 33, was kidnapped and tortured before he was killed. Tragically, his body has still not been found. A response to Johnny's death is linked to the murder of Daniel Shaw, who was found with gunshot injuries to his chest in Copland Place in the Tower Hill area on the 25th of March 2018. Deputy Senior Investigating Officer Jenny Birch said, "We are absolutely committed to establishing the truth behind what happened to Johnny and Daniel. 6 years have passed and allegiances change. Do the right thing and pick up the phone to tell us what you know." He also added, "We still need to hear from anyone with information about the whereabouts of Ryan Hobday, aged 28, in 2018, from Coventry, who's wanted in connection with the murders. We are still seeking him. However, we believe he may also have been murdered himself. I don't think I've covered a city in the UK where enemies are not only killed but they disappear. Coventry's violence is like no other." Now, do you guys remember Pa Salieu, who is a British rapper, most notable for being very similar in style to J Hus, which isn't surprising as they are both from Gambia. In January 2020, he released his debut single Frontline, which was the most played track of 2020 on BBC Radio 1 Extra. Now, on October 2019, Coventry rapper Pa Salieu was one of 2 people shot in Coventry City Centre. The rising star was shot in the head. 2 days after being shot, the 22-year-old posted a picture on his Facebook page showing himself alongside a friend visiting him in hospital. The upload carried the caption, "Can't stop greatness like that, like that."
Coventry is a place where you gotta survive. It's the belly of the beast, it's the middle of England, belly of the beast. A place like this will dishearten you. 2 really stupid runnings with the devil film still can't defeat me. People get shot in the head and die. 1 bullet, I got 19 in my head. It's a journey of an African rebel.
The West Midlands is a very dangerous place. I covered the war in Wolverhampton. However, many surrounding towns are just as crazy. See, when Bailey Atkinson, a gang member from Coventry, moved to Walsall to get away from the gangster lifestyle of the city, he soon became embroiled in Walsall's own warring gangs. On the evening of the 27th of January 2023, Bailey Atkinson was out with a female friend. Now, 2 cars in a convoy had been stolen in previous days. 9 people in both vehicles had met up in a supermarket shortly before they drove into the town centre looking for Bailey. It's thought they were looking for him in retaliation for an attack Bailey did 2 months prior. They cornered Bailey by Lower Hall Lane and drove at him. He managed to escape, but the car circled and caught up with him further along the high street. 6 of the occupants got out and attacked Bailey with machetes and zombie knives. His attackers got back in the cars, leaving him on the floor. One stopped to try to take a photo of Bailey on his mobile phone as he lay bleeding on the floor. Despite open heart surgery at the scene, Bailey died from multiple stab wounds to his back, arms and legs. Bailey Atkinson's dying words were uttered to a police officer as he lay in Walsall town centre. Now, after a 10-week trial at Nottingham Crown Court, 7 teenagers who were aged between 15 and 18 at the time of the attack were found guilty of Bailey's murder. They were Benjamin Wilkes of Guild Avenue, Ronan McCulloch of Livingston Road, Patrick Brooks of Hunter Crescent, all age 18, were found guilty, as was Sonny Loveridge, age 19. Now this brings me to the end of this video. As always, I send my condolences to the family of everyone I mentioned. Please make sure to like and subscribe and support me on Patreon so I can improve the quality of my videos. Till the next time.